A Kentucky woman faced with an impossible decision: give birth to a baby that wouldn't survive or have an abortion.
As WDRB's Addie Shaney reports, a recent change to state law made her choice even more difficult.
And this is Madison with her weird rap.
Heather and Nick Mayberry live in this lively Stanton, Kentucky home with their blended family.
We just brought him home.
6 happy children and many furry friends.
Where is Killer?
Last year, the newlyweds were excited to learn
10 weeks and 0 days.
they were expecting another child, their first together. They suffered a devastating miscarriage. But a few months later,
Oh, you can see her eyeballs right here.
joy when they learned they were pregnant again.
That's her left foot. When we first heard her heartbeat, we were just, we just wanted to cry because we were like so excited that, this was going to be a healthy baby.
They picked a name, Willow. But 21 weeks into the pregnancy,
You see how there's no
So she
round to her head. It was literally like we were living a nightmare. I mean, we still are.
doctors told them Willow had anencephaly, a rare birth defect that prevents the brain and skull from forming properly in the womb.
They explained that Willow most likely was not alive. Just because she had her heartbeat, she had no brain activity.
The doctor gave them 2 options: give birth to a baby that could not survive, or get an abortion out of state.
Do I continue to carry my dead child and suffer for the rest of the 18 weeks? Or do I do the hardest thing I've ever had to face in my life so that I can support my family?
Mayberry did not want an abortion. She wanted to be induced early so she could deliver and hold her baby before Willow felt too much pain. But that would be considered illegal under Kentucky's abortion law.
In our situation, we should have been given the chance to give birth to our daughter, because they stole that from us.
At 23 weeks pregnant, feeling it was her only option, Mayberry traveled to Illinois to have the procedure.
Every bit of me wanted to get up off that table and leave and just keep her. We're grieving a teddy bear with her heartbeat. We're grieving a picture, her footprints.
Kentucky Senator Cassie Chambers Armstrong, a Democrat, says her heart breaks for families like Mayberry's.
There are real families, there are real people, there are real women that are suffering.
Armstrong, an attorney, says Kentucky doctors are often hesitant to provide care in these circumstances because of the legal consequences.
I worry that we don't have the political willpower right now to do anything to stop these stories from happening time and time and time again.
Kentucky's law only allows abortions to save the life of the mother. Even some Republicans recognize that poses issues, as in Mayberry's case.
It was interpreted correctly, unfortunately, and that's why the legislature needs to come back to the table and change the law.
He proposed a change to state law, allowing a woman to get an abortion in Kentucky if 2 doctors say the baby wouldn't survive outside of the womb. But that amendment failed.
It's heartbreaking. I've talked to a number of my own constituents, some of whom are rock-ribbed Republicans and who are pro-life as they come, and this has happened to them.
Mayberry always considered herself pro-life, until she had to make a choice she never expected.
I literally have cried and said, I hope God forgives me, and that I do get to go to heaven one day and see her.
Nemus tells me he will try to get the law changed again in Kentucky's next legislative session and wants to include exceptions for victims of rape and incest. WDRB reached out to Republican Attorney General Daniel Cameron, asking if this was the intended outcome of the law. He hasn't responded.
All right, thank you, Addie. Cameron did put out a statement Tuesday in reference to abortion providers dropping their lawsuit challenging the Human Life Protection Act. He said, in part, my office will always defend and enforce Kentucky's pro-life laws passed by our General Assembly. We are gratified that the abortion providers recognize their case should be dismissed.